What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of JK Sports. I'm Johnio,
And I'm Keenan.
and today we are doing our baseball predictions and who we think we're going to go to the playoffs, our wild card, World Series winners, and we're going to have other video for our individual awards.
Yes.
So look out for that.
All right. We're going to start with the American League just because it's alphabetical. And for the East, I don't think it's a question here. I got the Red Sox winning the East
Me
far
too.
and away. Yankees are not the Yankees that we're used to seeing in the past. Blue Jays are good. Orioles are good. They're just not on the Red Sox level. And then there's the Rays, who have taken a dramatic step back towards their old name, the Devil Rays. That they could be good, but with Joe Madden,
No Joe Madden.
yeah, Joe Madden's not there anymore, so
Yeah.
they might go back to the Devil Rays. So yeah, that's the East. Do you have any different opinions?
I think Blue Jays have the potential to challenge the Red Sox, but yeah, of course, the Red Sox I think are the clear favorites at this
Okay.
point. Just because I think Donaldson and Bautista are just monsters.
And your favorite Encarnacion.
Encarnacion.
For the Central, another clear favorite here. We got Detroit. They're just a monster team. Even though they lost some pitching, they still got some back with David Price.
Yeah.
So that should be interesting to see. And obviously they got Cespedes too. So that'll be interesting to see him behind Miggy.
Yeah, that's great combo.
Obviously, the other teams there, Indians they're good. I don't know if they're playoff worthy, but they are a good team. White Sox are a pretty good team. The Royals, obviously, they were just in the World Series, but that was they went on a run to do that, and they lost some pitching with Shields being their main guy. And who's
Yeah, that's
the
a
other?
big hit.
And then the Twins. The Twins they're completely looking to the future. They have their best player is Torrey Hunter, and I mean, I don't think I need to say anything more. So that's the Central. I think you're with me on that.
Yeah,
Right?
we're on the same level there. Definitely big Tigers fan.
Okay, and then
Not in life, but a fan of them winning
Yeah.
Central.
For the West, obviously you have the A's, who are always going to contend. They could look horrible. They're still going to contend. I don't know how they do it. Houston, they're also in rebuilding mode, much like the Twins.
How long have they been in rebuilding mode?
A long time. Who else is in the West? The A's? Did I say the A's?
Yeah, you said the A's.
Okay, the Mariners.
The Mariners. Nelson Cruz and Robinson Cano,
And-
Zunino.
and King Felix.
Yeah.
They're going to contend. They got a very solid team. Especially, I like the Cruz edition.
Yeah, that's big time.
Obviously, you got the Angels, who is my pick to win the West. There's one more team. I can't think of.
Where, in the West?
Rangers. Texas Rangers, who they're...
No Darvish.
No Darvish for the year.
That sucks.
Prince Fielder, he's going to do what he does, but that's really all they
Wait.
got. They got a lot of young guys. They do
What are
have
you
a lot
talking
of
about? Prince Fielder's on the Tigers, my friend. Did we start talking about the Tigers all of a sudden?
Prince Fielder's with the Rangers, buddy. He's traded for Kinsler.
Damn it.
Yeah.
You're right.
All right. So now that we got that straightened out, so we got Fielder on the Rangers. I really can't think of another. Well, they got Adrian Beltre. He's always solid, and they got a lot of young guys. Jurickson Profar is a good prospect. He's did solid last year when they called for him.
Odor.
Rugnan Odor, yes. He's going to be their second baseman. He'll be good. Leonis Martin is a solid fielder for the outfield. I can't think of anybody else they got, really. But regardless, they're not going to win. I don't know why we're talking about them as long as we have. So I got the Angels. Who do you got?
I think we got the same people, don't we?
Yeah, Angels.
Yeah, we're similar there, and then that's where our similarities stop
For the
AL.
for the AL. All right, for the wild card, I have my wild card 1 spot, so they would have the home field for their 1-game playoff. I got Baltimore winning that. I think they don't have a great team, at least as far as pitching. They don't have great pitchers, but they have a lot of solid pitchers, and they have just enough offense to get the job done. Even though they lost Cruz, I really like Matt Wieters and Adam Jones. Those two guys.
Adam Jones is a beast. Who's their number one? Who's their ace?
Their ace? I can't even think of their ace.
That's why I don't think they'd advance past that wild card spot. In my opinion, if they were to get there, just because you need that guy.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. My second wild card spot, just because in reality, like I mentioned earlier, they lost Shields, the Royals. I think they just have a very cohesive team, and I think they could go on another run. I don't know if they'll make a deep run, but I think they'll go on another run to make the playoffs. So I have them as my wild card 2. Now, your wild cards?
Yeah, my wild cards. I have number 1. I have Toronto. Like I said, I'm a fan of the Blue Jays. I'm a big R.A. Dickey fan. That's my dude.
Yeah.
This dude got me a signed baseball from him. That
Yes,
was
I
awesome. Obviously from his Mets days, not from his Blue Jays days. But number 2, I have the White Sox.
Very good pitching.
Yeah, Chris Sale, and then you got Samardzija. Then you got Abreu, Ramirez. They got a good lineup.
Yeah.
On top of the ace, their top 2 pitchers.
They do.
So those are my picks at wild card.
Okay. So we've covered who's in for the American League. We'll get to who wins out later. We're going to cover the National League, who gets in now. For the East, I think this is probably the last thing we have in common. I got the Nationals. I think they are like head and shoulders above the rest of the NL East.
Rude.
Well, it's rude towards both. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you got the Mets, who they've been looking good. I didn't know that prior, but they have been looking good. The Marlins look like they're going to be contenders. Phillies, who are just out of it, they're not the Phillies that we're used to. And then also the Braves. The Braves are not the Braves that we're used to. They lost a lot of people.
And usually they're in it no matter what they've done in the offseason, but last year was...
They got gutted.
Yeah. And they've a lot of turnover coming into this year now.
Yeah. So I think the Nationals have that.
Yeah.
Like I said,
we agree on that.
Head and shoulders. The Central, you got the Pirates, who are always going to be good now, which is weird to say. That doesn't seem right, but it is. Cardinals are always going to be in it, and that does seem right. They're always in the playoff contention.
I hate them. 2006 was our year. Okay.
Now you got that out of the way.
And I have them winning it.
Yeah. Who else is in the NL Central? I can't think right now. You got the Reds. The Reds are always a solid team.
Brewers
they're a good team.
Gomez and Braun. When there's a
that's
Gomez and a
about
Braun, there's a way.
But they don't have Gallardo anymore, so
Yeah, where's that dude at?
Rangers actually.
Okay.
But yeah, there's one more team in the Central, and I feel bad.
The Cubs.
The Cubs.
The Cubs.
Who are actually, they look really good, but not this year. They look really good the next 2 or 3 years.
But I mean, if the rookies all of a sudden come alive this year, then they got a shot. But that would be just not fair, because if they're that good now,
yeah, look out.
Yeah.
So yeah, for the future, we'll be talking about the Cubs a lot probably. But this year, I don't think they make it yet.
I'm kind of rooting for them. Like, as a Mets fan, I can understand not winning for a while.
I like a lot of their young guys.
And the Cubs haven't won in even longer, so I kind of root for them.
Yeah, the little bit of underdog rooting there. But who I have, I think you already mentioned you have the Cardinals winning.
I have the Cardinals winning somehow.
And I have the Pirates winning it. I think their team is just they're clicking. To find Josh Harrison out of nowhere last year.
Yeah.
I think that really brought them together. In the NL West, all right, we have obviously defending champs, the Giants. They lost a few people, but I mean, they've won with almost nobody before.
Crap, I forgot about the Giants.
You got the Dodgers, who are a sick team.
Yeah.
Even losing a couple, an outfielder or two, they have one of the best young guys coming back up to replace him, Jock Peterson. But yeah, they lost Kemp. The Rockies, who I can't remember the last time they were true contenders.
Yeah, it's Cargo and Tulo.
If they're healthy.
If they're healthy, that's the thing. And if they're healthy, then they're going to be doing something.
Even then, they only have a chance because their pitching is horrible. But yeah, you got the Diamondbacks, who they're relevant every other year, kind of. They haven't for the last couple, but they've had their moments. And then the Padres, kind of.
I can't. The last time I remember them. Oh yeah, you're right. What's the
when they had Brandon Webb, they were contenders for a while.
Yeah.
Then the other team that's in the West is the Padres,
which that's the wild card. That's the one we don't. They could be amazing, or they could
They are the 2012 Marlins. Basically, they just went out and got a bunch of people, and we don't know how they're going to work out together. If they click, they're going to be great. If they don't, we might see another 2012 Marlins fiasco.
Yeah, the fire sale.
Yeah. So I have the Giants winning it again. Who do you got?
I have the Dodgers taking it. I think Kershaw is just too much, and Greinke and what's the dude's name? The third one?
I can't remember. Oh, Hyunjin Ryu.
Yeah, you had to say it for me. Along with that lineup, and Adrian Gonzalez is still a beast. Okay,
he is. I like Adrian Gonzalez.
And Puig and other people, but yeah, I think they're just loaded. And that, like I said, the top three in their rotation is just really good. Obviously,
I don't know how Rollins is going to work out there.
Yeah, that's. I don't know. He could be.
I do like Crawford in their number 2 in the 2-hole for him. He's perfect for the 2-hole because for some reason he doesn't like batting leadoff. He could be the best leadoff batter in the game, but he doesn't like it, so whatever. All right, the 2 wild card spots. I got my number 1 as the Cardinals. I think the Pirates barely edge out the Cardinals for the Central. Honestly, I think they win it by a game. That's why I have them as my number 1 wild card and not winning it. And then my number 2, I really like what the Marlins have done, putting together a lot of players. You're probably going to see some fan favoritism for the wild card spots here from both of us. But yeah, I really like the Marlins. Giancarlo Stanton looks like a real candidate for MVP, which we'll get into at another time.
In another video.
Yeah, so those are my picks for the 2 wild cards.
Okay. My wild card 1, you guessed it, the New York Mets. I think Matt Harvey coming in is the biggest acquisition that they've made this offseason. He's blown up in spring training. He's back to his form, it seems like. And on top of that, we've had a loaded rotation even while losing Wheeler for the year. We still have Dylan G as number 5, and we have Montero knocking on the door and Syndergaard knocking on the door. It's just a matter of the offense, but I think the pitching can get us pretty far. And though I don't think they're going to take the NL East. I think the Nationals are just too far. They're too talented. And with the second spot, I have the Pirates. So we both have the Pirates and Cardinals.
It's just who's going to win it.
Right. So, yeah. And what you had to say about the Pirates when you said they were going to win, I agree with that.
Okay. All right. So now we're going to get into who we have advancing throughout the playoffs. I have I'm going to do the American League first. Like I said, it just works. It's alphabetical. I have the Red Sox as number one. Between the Orioles and Royals in their one-game playoff, I have the Orioles winning that. So they would face off against the Red Sox. And then in my 2-3 spots, I have Detroit and Los Angeles. Detroit having the home field there. So I have, because of the home field and because of their monster team, I have the Tigers advancing. And also because of home field and their monster team, I have the Red Sox advancing. Out between those, I think the Red Sox have better management and know how to run their team a little bit better. And with the home field, I think they take that probably in 6 games from the Tigers. So they would represent the American League for me. Your American League predictions?
Okay. Well, I have Detroit as the number one. I do think Verlander and Price and Miggy and Cespedes is just it's a whole lot. Not to say that the Red Sox aren't stacked either. That's just my preference. I think the top 2 starters on Detroit is just ridiculous. And then number 2, I have Boston. I can obviously see it flipped easily.
Same here.
And then facing Detroit, I have the White Sox. Like I said,
beating Toronto in the one-game playoff.
Right. And the reason I did that, even though I did have Toronto higher, is Sale. That is the whole reason. In the one-game playoff, you throw out Sale, you have a high likelihood of winning.
And even if Sale played towards the end of the season and they can't play him, you got some margin too, which is almost as good.
Yeah, that's the whole reason I have them advancing past Toronto, who I also like. Then I have the Angels
as your 3,
as my number 3. So, and then I have Boston advancing past that. But the Angels, you know them, they're stacked. They have Trout, they have Pujols, even
Weaver as a number 1.
Weaver, who's been good for a while. My God.
Yeah.
So I have the same 2 teams advancing, Detroit and Boston, just in different...
just different home field. That's really it.
And due to that, I have Detroit advancing, just because I can see it. I can see Boston beating them again easily. But I mean easily as in I can see it
either way.
Yeah, either way.
We both concede either way. It's just we had different home fields, and that was probably what made the difference between the 2 of us.
And that's why. Hence, I have Detroit advancing over Boston. Plus, Boston, you already won with the Patriots. Just shut up. Stop winning so much. God.
So now we're going to move to our National League predictions. So I had the Pirates winning the East, and I actually have them number 1. Like I said, if I have them over the Cardinals by a game, so that's how good the Cardinals are. It's crazy that they're a wild card, according to me. The Nationals, I have number 2. Now that I'm thinking about it, I want the Nationals to be number 1, but whatever, I made my decision. Nationals are 2.
I'm going back.
Exactly. I have the Giants at 3. And then in the one-game playoff between the Marlins and Cardinals, my sole reason for picking the Marlins over the Cardinals is because of Jose Fernandez. By the time that happens, Jose Fernandez will be back, and he'll be in
crazy
mid-season form.
I thought he was done for the year.
No, he's coming back right around the All-Star break. I think it's a little bit before, but it might be at the All-Star break.
Would you want them to rush him?
No.
So you want him to be completely...
Exactly.
Even if it takes as long as it takes.
Yeah, and they have
take the Strasburg route.
Approach, yeah. And they have a solid rotation to go without him for a while. They do have Dan Herron now, which I'm surprised he didn't opt to retire.
What if they're a month out and the Mets are like a game behind them and the Marlins are like a game behind the Nationals?
Well, if it's a month out, Fernandez will be back by then.
Well, let's just say he's not. Let's say he has a setback, as happens all the time.
That's possible.
And he's just on the verge. Would you push him out there? I'd say he's like 60%.
My heart says yes, but my head says no.
So which one are you gonna go with? You're gonna mortgage the future, possibly
for 1 year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to take the Cubs approach with Mark Pryor. So I'd go with my head probably on that one.
Okay.
Plus, I think Stanton could carry them without Fernandez.
Another hypothetical. What if you lose another pitcher?
That would be hard. That would be difficult, especially since we traded Haney, so we can't bring him up. But
Go for it or not? Just chill.
I'd say chill, because I'd rather have multiple playoff chances
Right.
in the future than
And what he
only-
showed, he's a beast.
Yeah. So either way, I have the Marlins getting past the Cardinals, and so it's going to be Pirates versus Marlins and Nationals versus Giants. I originally had the Pirates beating the Marlins, but I made a last-minute change. I think the Marlins, this is probably just fandom speaking, but I think the Marlins have a legit shot at getting on a run and beating the Pirates. And then in the Nationals versus Giants, I think the Giants are just too good of a team. Like the Nationals on paper have a better team, but I think the Giants are a better team. So I think it would be Giants versus Marlins, and then I think the Marlins' luck runs out there, unfortunately, and the Giants go back to the World Series to defend their title. So your National League.
Okay. So number one, I have the Dodgers, and then that's also Nationals, Dodgers. I don't know. Who cares? They're both making it. I just went with the Dodgers number one, and I have them facing in the wild card the Mets, who defeated the Pirates. That's my my bias there. But Matt Harvey,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna stick with that dude.
It would be a great pitching matchup, Harvey versus Garrett Cole.
Yeah, and I have the Mets having the higher seed at home. Not that I don't think that'll matter too much in this situation, but yeah, I trust Harvey here. But all right, so then the next, I have Nationals facing St. Louis. So that would be a good one. But
that would be a very good matchup.
But yeah, I have the Nationals advancing. Boring. I know everyone has Nationals
Yeah.
going, but next, unlike my friend here, I have my team losing to the Dodgers, or losing to the higher seed.
Yeah.
So I have the Dodgers beating the Mets. In terms of where the Mets are, I could see a number of teams being there instead of them. The Pirates or the Giants. I just realized that I don't have neither the Giants or the Royals making the playoffs, which is nonsense. I doubt this happens, but it's my bracket.
Yeah.
It's my world. So I have the Dodgers and Nationals facing each other, which I think is a popular pick.
Yeah.
And then I think the Nationals in the long series, probably a Game 7 or whatever, taking it. And did you make your World Series?
I did not. I waited for the World Series
Okay.
pick. So my World Series, I would have basically a matchup of, I think, the last two champions, Red Sox and Giants, right? They were the last two.
Red Sox won 2 years ago?
Yeah, I believe that was when they went from worst to first.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's my matchup, and I actually have the Red Sox taking it back away from the Giants because the Giants are even year.
Enough Massachusetts.
The Giants are even year teams. I think next year in 2016, the Giants come back and take it. But yeah, I think the Red Sox take it. So
Yeah, that could happen. That could easily happen. Red Sox are loaded. And I have Detroit. What they need a win. They need to win more than Boston.
just not even their team, their city.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
What is it? You can call 911 and they can just not show up. The fuck? Give them this win, Tigers. So I got Detroit beating the Nationals. I think this year is going to be interesting. I think, yeah, the Red Sox, the Giants, the Tigers, the Nationals, the Dodgers.
Yeah.
So many potential.
Even the A's, if they can make a midseason trade and get some more pitching.
That'd be optimistic.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it could happen, no doubt. It's just, who would have thought the Royals?
Yeah, last year.
Yeah, just a game away.
Yeah.
So those were our predictions for the MLB playoffs, and watch out for our predictions for individual awards. That should be coming out next. Maybe the mock draft, I'm not sure. and let us know what you think. Who's going to win, and give us your reasoning so we can, I don't know, we'll talk it out.
Yeah.
Comment, like, subscribe.
Subscribe.
And we'll see ya.
Bye.